Let them have it. Let them
Let them
have
have
it.
it. Okay. Labels, labels, labels. Runway. I have trophies in both. Let's see. There were the side off categories that I walked, which were like split, new way, old way, performance, and performance for us was the culmination of all the styles together. Pop that prop, hand performance. Did I miss anything? I probably did, but who cares? But I've walked in one, and I have probably 2 to 3 trophies for the previous categories, with the exception of Oval and New Wave, which I've been of the year twice for. But and for me, it's more about what the extra stuff that I've done ball-wise. I'm the co-founder of the School of Opulence, which was run by myself and Tommy Avant-Garde. I was the artistic director. I had also served as the ED for a while when Tommy moved to Ohio. And what a lot of people don't know is that for the first close to 10 years of the School of Opulence being open, there was no funding. That was done out of our pocket. What people may not know is that the kids that I worked with, and I can probably count about like 6, 7, 8 legends off the top of my head, whom I have personally trained in the respective categories outside of voguing and including voguing. I would take those kids around every year, and we had a little circuit that we did where they did paid performances, and they got paid. All the money that they received for those performances was divided amongst those kids. I taught them the business as best I could. What you should do, what you shouldn't do, how to handle your business, how to handle your money, who you should really talk to, and what you should deal with in terms of doing the performance, how to negotiate a contract, and stick to that contract. Those things like that, that's what I hold dear in terms of my accomplishments in the ballroom scene. It's not so much as a status. I got status, yay, thank you so much. It's seen, it's not seen. I can't pay my rent with it. And sorry, but my rent days are over with. I can't pay mortgages with it. I can't pay no car notes with it. I'm just keeping it real.
I know that's right. 100%.
So I think that a lot of times we put too much importance is placed in the wrong areas. I know that everybody who walks, mostly, I'm not going to say everybody, but mostly everybody who walks balls puts in a lot of work to walk these balls. I think that, and I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but I got to say it. I think that some of these judges need to sit their asses down. Because you can't give these kids the courtesy and respect that they are due for having the nerve to get up and come down that runway and just watch what they do. Stop chopping people because they're not in your house. Stop chopping people because they're not sucking you off or they won't let you suck them off. It's by video. Stuff like that really gets under my skin, and I'm being sincere and honest. I care about the Midwest ballroom. It's not just the Midwest ballroom scene that has so much to do with it. I care about all these kids in the ballroom scene. I am so tired of these old-ass motherfuckers chasing these little kids down. Pardon my French, edit when necessary. Get your dates ready.
Ooh.
For 5 and 6, trying to get them to get, for sexual favors. This goes all the way into some of these agencies. I know this is not ballroom, but it is. I gotta say it. Some of these agencies really need to back the fuck up, and these people that are throwing these balls, y'all need to back away from these agencies, because what they're doing is they're using you. They dangle a motherfucking carrot in front of you. How the hell does that sound to you? When you know I've showed you, I've taught you, I've done everything I possibly can to inform you about what's going on. These people are getting $80,000 to $100,000, $200,000, and all you get is a motherfucking ball that costs them next to nothing and $2,000. You even keep the proceeds from the door.
Wow.
Just so you can throw a ball? Is it that serious?
Wow.
We can't do everything for you. You have to stand up for yourself. Stop letting them take advantage of you. Now back to ball.
Back to your regular scheduled program.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to say that. It was just like it's been eating at me.
No, I know that's right. Well, you're not the only one. You know, there's a lot of cases of people, you know, who actually had to, you know, base opinions, you know, in a professional manner, you know, about, you know, all of this controversial issues that's happening behind ballroom scene.
Right.
You know, we're not going to go into more detail unless, you know, you want to shoot a couple of them out. But, you know, we have...
No.
Okay, so...
You're not drawing me in on that one. That's the top. Next category.
I know that's right.
By the way, where's my coffee?
Oh?
You promised me coffee.
I know that's right. Hold
This
on.
is my damn coffee. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me see if I can call... No, my bell.
Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try it.
Working. Yeah, we're just gonna have to order online. Yeah,
okay.
Free refills.
Virtual coffee. That's right.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna send you a coupon.
Straight from Tampa, right?
And it's fresh too.
You better not be sipping in my ear. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Okay, back to regular commercial. I mean, get away from the commercial, go back to regular programming. Where were we?
I know that's right. Well, you know, I have a lot of. I'm sorry, I have a lot of people messaging me right now. You know, talking about, you know, questions that they have and things that I have. But I'm trying not to go into the controversy area. You know, so I'm trying to go through them and pick, you know, something that is suitable. You know, let's talk about status real quick. Let's go back into that real quick because. There's a lot of things going on behind the whole status, and, you know, I'm not going to go over it again because we do it on every episode, so I'm just going to start it off by saying, you know, if New York should have complete control over the deeming process state to state. What are your opinions on that? That seems like a good one.
Oh, you are trying to get my box blown.
Oh, no.
No, but I'm going and you asked me a question, I'm going to answer as fairly as I possibly can. In terms of the deeming, I think that each region needs to clean up its shit. There is no one, I believe that we all owe respect to New York for having the first organized ballroom thing. Yes, they deserve that respect. I think that they could give us some really good guidance. I think that instead of being a centralized one body of it, of saying who says what, did this, blah, 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 that the region should be to take care of the regions. But I think that there should be an overall body that's not. It can be centralized in New York, it can be centralized in Philly, it can be centralized in Florida. I don't care where it's centralized, but it needs to be equal representation across the board. Unfortunately, I don't see equal representation across the board. I honestly don't. Right. The reason why I don't see it is because, for one, you have houses that have satellite houses in all of the regions. So wherever that home base is, they're going to have sway over those satellite regions. You feel me? And when things like that happen, because you're oftentimes you're dealing with some impressionable people, and some are easily influenced. Not all. Some are easily influenced as to what's what. I don't think that there's enough strong local leadership, no matter what region it is, to actually go and stand up toe-to-toe to your house parent and XYZ state and say, well, these are our people. Well, they need more time. I don't see them. Well, to say that you don't see somebody, that's very insulting.
Right.
It's very insulting.
Right. And then again, we have the controversy between New school, mid school, and old school, and pioneering school. And that's where
Those
we
are
have
always going to be fights.
yeah, that's where we have the controversy, because we having a great misunderstanding on respecting the ballroom scene, and the status situation thing is a little crazy. I had a post recently early on Facebook, and I had several people message me early on my group on Facebook that, back in the days in the ballroom scene before I was in it, or my people's time was in it, or my era's time, that it was the audience who chose if you was fab. It really didn't even account to judges. If the audience went up for you and you were known, and the audience recognized you for your performance and what you brought, then you was legendary, or you was, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, something like that. I mean, the audience in any given function can sway. It's a known fact. That's why I think, one of the things that I see that's happening on the panels, and it's been happening for probably like the last 10 years or so, is that it's gotten to the point where you have to have house representation on the panel, which I think is just gone way above and beyond. It's kind of necessary, but it's also ridiculous because let's face it, we've all sat down and we've watched some of these tapes. We've been at these balls, blah 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 blah, and you can see what's not edited out of these performances. But then again, that's just like, it's all subjective, just like history. It's subjective. If somebody is not going around preaching or talking about their contribution to history or what they saw or what they experienced from their point of view, it does not get recorded. It's not a part of the history. We've had these conversations in the Midwest since day one. Since day one. I served as secretary twice for two different boards for the Parents Association. I've served as not only the secretary, vice president, and president. I've watched and I've been a part of the changing of some of this stuff. And I don't always agree with everything. Not all of us are going to agree on how things should go and what should be included and what shouldn't be included. I know I'm going to get some phone calls behind this, but it's the truth. History is subjective. If there's not somebody fighting for the other people or for somebody who's not a part of the girlfriend clique, they're written out, or you don't hear about them. I feel like this. I will preach as much as gospel as I possibly can, right, but it's my version. It's my version. It's what I saw. It's what I experienced. You're going to have Tommy. It's going to be his version, what he saw, what he experienced. Same thing with Aaron Enigma. Same thing with Kenny Allen Meagley, and a few others. There's a lot of people that were part of our history, that were part of the foundation of the Midwest ballroom scene, who you don't hear about, like T. Ultra Omni. I think he's de jure down in Florida. If that house is still running, I don't know. But he was one of the people. You got Holman Zandela. The whole house is Zandela, actually, Jody. And the list goes on of people who were there. I will even say Gentry contributes to the history of the Midwest ballroom scene. He was a competitor. Give him his due. Same thing with Percy. He walks a couple of balls. But everybody has their own viewpoint on how much they contributed. And we have some of it documented. Not all of it has been documented. There actually some of the documentation has been lost. We just lost Moosey Avant-Garde. She had a nice collection of that stuff. T Ultra Omni, who's down in Florida with these folks, has photos that a lot of people here don't have or don't even know exist. You got Wayne Takes. You got Kevin. There's so many different people who have Kevin out of Detroit, and there's so many people who have so much stuff and so much contribution to put into this historical thing. It's not just one person. Anytime you lean into one person's understanding, you're gonna miss out on some stuff.
Right.
You're gonna miss out on some stuff. Trust me. There's a lot of stuff that has been left, and if we put it all into one person's hand or a small group of people saying this is our history, each generation contributes to their history. We got different generations who don't know about the other ones. You got the ones who came out with me